One of the questions I get asked the most is, how exactly do you start a poultry business? Well, there are a few several steps you can take in starting this type of business. Firstly, you gotta know like which type of poultry farming do you want to start? Because we have layers and we also have boilers. So basically, layers are the chickens that lay eggs, and boilers are the chickens you raise for meat. Basically, they usually take from 1 to 6 weeks to fully grown, and then after that, they're ready for the market. So those are the two types of poultry businesses you can start. Although you can sometimes some people can do them both at the same time. So if you yourself want to start this type of business, you have to consider a few things because you have to make sure that before you can even begin buying the chicks themselves, you need to ensure that you have a proper chicken house or a proper chicken structure to house these birds because they require like a proper chicken structure so that in times of rain and all that because you need to have a proper structure to protect them from all that, and also you need to make sure that it's well ventilated, and also you need to make sure that you have lighting, especially if you're going to be putting in boilers in there. So you need to make sure that you have a heating system and there's a ventilation, in enough ventilation, and also you need to make sure that nobody enters that chicken house, because any like people can spread diseases to these chickens, especially boilers. You need to protect them, and also since you're going to be, for example, let's say you're going to be starting with boilers, right? Boilers usually take from 1 to 6 weeks to grow up. So what you need to do from that is need to, after that you have set up the chicken structure, which is the chicken house, you need to start buying feeds, which is we have three types of feeds for boilers. We have the starter feed, we have the grower feed, and we also have the finisher feeds. So, and also you need to make sure that you have stress pack, and also you need to have there's the vaccine for Newcastle. So just in case you may need it, because you just have to be cautious. So you need to get that ready first before you can even think about buying the beds themselves. Once you have the feeds, and also once you have the stress pack, and also once you have the equipment, which equipment am I referring to? Well, we usually use feeders and drinkers. Basically, feeders is where you put the chicken feeds, and also drinkers is where you supply water to the chickens. So once you have that equipment, you are now ready to begin, phase one of poultry farming. And also, once you're there, I will also recommend that okay, you also because the floor of the house, if you're going to be starting with boilers, as I said, right, you need to make sure that you have wood shavings, or you have maybe dry grass, which you can lay so that the chickens can be warm. Because remember, you're going to be bringing these chicks at a very young age, so they don't have a mother, remember that first, right? So they need to be in an environment that can support their growth, and also an environment that is comfortable to them, not too cold, because if they're too cold to them, you might lose some of your chickens. So yeah, given take with that taken into account, you can now go and buy your chicks. Usually, they are 1 day old, which means they're still very young, and also you're going to be bringing them to this house, and also you're going to set up everything. And also, before you bring your chickens into that house, make sure that house is fumigated, and then you can bring them in. And also, once you bring them in more, make sure that you have the proper fits, and also you have the room is warm enough to house them, because as I said, they're still very young and they're very sensitive, and also one wrong step can ruin your entire business, because if more than 10 die, you're in trouble. Yeah, so you can lose a lot of money in a very short amount of time. When it comes to boiler chickens, you just need to be cautious and also be calculated with your tactics when it comes to this type of business. And also, once you have those types of boilers, then you have the proper heating system. Then you the first water you will be supplying to them, you need to ensure that stress pack is inside there, because remember, you've been transporting these birds from somewhere else to this new environment. This environment is still new to them. They're still young. They were just born maybe 1 day ago, 2 days ago. So this environment is a bit stressful. So you need to make sure that you provide them with stress packs so that they can adjust to the new environment. And also you need to make sure that you provide them with feeds so that they can eat. And also you need to make sure that they are not ganged up into one corner, because once that happens, it signals that something is wrong with the room or your heating system, because they should be scattered all around, sleeping, with a warm temperature, and also in a well ventilated room, so that they do not have to gasp for air. Yeah, with that taken into account, then you can begin the stages. Okay, from that you can just oversee them, clean their houses, refill their feeders, uh, drinkers and everything. From that, you can just keep watching over them, watching them grow, cleaning, and everything. If you managed everything correctly, because you need to ensure that you have a book, which means you have a schedule. Okay, this is the day the chickens arrive, and this is the day they will be ready for the market. And also you need to track, each day, any changes in the poultry farm, any chickens that died, so that you can know how many you lost. And also because you need to learn also from your mistakes, because one of the things I've learned from having a poultry business is that uh, your business plan is not actually your business itself. Your actual business will actually come once you are running your business. So that's when you will actually develop, the final business plan of your business. So the first one, it's okay to get you started, because I never understood when I heard so many people say that when it comes to business, the most important step is to start. And you might think they're joking, but the most important step in business is just to start. Once you have started, you just know that, okay, now, okay, I've started my business, and like this is the plan I had for the business, and I thought it was, gonna change the world. Then you discover no, maybe you were wrong about that. It's not gonna change the world. Then from that, you begin to develop your actual business, from a real experience, and also what you've seen in the market, and also what you know now, because in the marketplace. So yeah, your real business plan will come after you have started. You need to understand